Welcome to this explainer. Today we're extracting the absolute core recommendations from the Essential Guide to Weight Loss Nutrition. We're going to figure out exactly which foods work for weight loss and, more importantly, why they work. If you've ever felt, completely overwhelmed by the sheer amount of nutritional advice out there, you are definitely in the right place. We're cutting through the noise, skipping the confusing fads, and looking directly at the underlying science. We're going to show you exactly how to build a diet that supports your goals effectively and sustainably.
Okay, so let's dive right in with an absolutely crucial question. Instead of following those confusing fads or listening to random influencers, what are the actual biological rules that make a specific food effective for shedding pounds? We often label foods as simply good or bad, right? But our bodies, they don't read the labels on diet food boxes. They respond to chemistry, to volume, and to biological triggers. So what's the actual criteria here? What is literally happening inside your digestive system and your brain when you eat certain things? Well, that's exactly the puzzle we're going to solve right now.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the criteria for weight loss, move into high-volume foods, explore the power of protein, unpack healthy fats, and finally, build your perfect plate. We'll begin with our first section, the criteria for weight loss, focusing on the science of satiety. Now, the absolute key to feeling full without overconsuming calories really comes down to one single concept, and that is caloric density. Think of it as, kind of like the secret mathematical code to your diet. If a food has a high caloric density, it means a tiny little bite packs a massive amount of calories. But if it has a low caloric density, you can eat a huge, physically heavy portion of it, and it's hardly going to make a dent in your daily calorie limit. Mastering weight loss isn't about eating less food overall, it's actually about eating foods with a lower caloric density so you never actually feel like you're starving. Just imagine holding a tiny, high-calorie processed snack in one hand, maybe a few greasy potato chips, and a massive, overflowing plate of roasted veggies and lean meats in the other. For the exact same amount of calories, your body experiences two entirely different things. That processed snack? Boom, gone in 3 bites. Your stomach feels totally empty, and your brain is basically screaming for more. But that massive plate of whole food, it physically fills you up. It takes time to chew, time to digest, and it actually satisfies you.
Which brings us right into section 2, building our foundation with high-volume, low-calorie foods.
Rather than just giving you a boring grocery list, the guide explains the micro-narrative of foods like broccoli and leafy greens. When you eat fibrous vegetables, you're taking full advantage of their high water and fiber content. And this is where it gets really cool. These foods physically interact with your stomach. As they take up physical space, they cause what scientists call stomach distension. Literally, your stomach stretches. And when that physical stretch happens, it triggers mechanoreceptors that send a fast, crystal clear signal straight to your brain saying, hey, we're full down here. You can stop eating now. You're literally using the physical geometry of the food to hack your hunger signals. How amazing is that?
The guide makes an absolutely crucial point here, stating that choosing foods from this category means you can eat physically larger portions while still hitting your weight loss goals. One of the main reasons diets fail is the sheer psychological torture of tiny portion sizes. People absolutely hate feeling deprived. But by making high-volume, low-calorie foods the absolute foundation of your diet, you completely remove that psychological friction. You get to sit down to a huge plate of food, eat until you're completely satisfied, and still easily hit your target. It's a total game changer.
Now we step up from the foundation to the builders. Let's look at section 3, the power of protein.
Okay, here's where the science gets truly fascinating. Honestly, it's a little bit like a biological cheat code. We're talking about the thermic effect, which means your body actually burns calories just trying to digest protein. Imagine eating a piece of chicken. The molecular bonds in that protein are so complex and so tightly wound that your digestive system has to go into absolute overdrive just to break them apart. In fact, up to 30% of the calories you consume from pure protein are burned off during the digestion process itself. It's essentially an internal workout for your digestive tract. You are literally burning calories just by eating.
Now add that calorie-burning digestion to protein's second superpower, protecting your muscle mass. See, when you eat in a caloric deficit to lose weight, your body looks for energy, and sometimes it tries to break down your hard-earned muscle. But by keeping your protein intake high, you signal to your body to preserve that lean muscle and burn stored body fat instead. So protein is really serving a dual purpose here. It ramps up your metabolism through the thermic effect, and it acts as a literal shield for your muscles.
So we've got our foundation and our builders. Let's look at section 4, the sustainers, focusing on satiety and healthy fats.
Now, a lot of people are terrified of fats when they're trying to lose weight, because, as we learned earlier, fats have a very high caloric density. But the guide shows us that a very small, calculated amount is exactly what acts as a sustainer. While those high-volume veggies use physical volume to stretch your stomach and protein burns calories, healthy fats do something completely different. Their chemistry significantly slows down gastric emptying. Basically, they slow down the biological clock, reducing the rate at which food leaves your stomach. By adding just a little bit of avocado, a drizzle of olive oil, or a few almonds, you ensure that you don't just feel full right after you eat, but you actually stay feeling full and satiated for hours afterward.
Let's take all these mechanisms, volume, thermogenesis, and satiety, and put them to work in Section 5, building your perfect plate.
This is the literal step-by-step sequence the guide recommends for assembling your meals, and it takes the guesswork completely out of the equation. Step 1. Start big. Build a massive base with your high-volume fibrous greens to get that physical stomach distension we talked about. Step 2. Build on that by adding your hard-working, highly thermic protein to stoke your metabolism and protect your muscle. And finally, Step 3. Sustain it. Cap it off with a highly strategic, small portion of healthy fats to ensure you aren't hunting for snacks 2 hours later. It's literally a biological blueprint for the perfect meal.
We've demystified the science, we've moved past the fads, and we've given you the exact toolbox you need to master weight loss nutrition. You now know the biological criteria that actually matter, so the only thing left to ask is a provocative one. Look at your current diet. Are you eating for maximum volume, thermogenesis, and sustained satiety? Now that you have this blueprint, what will you change and what will you deliberately put on your plate tomorrow? Think about that as you plan your next meal. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this structured look at the science helps you build a healthier, more satisfied you.